Hello everyone, Voodoo here. So I've had some requests, so to speak, to look at Vengeance Demon Hunter on the War Within beta. So today we're going to do that. So take a look at some of the builds and just kind of talk about general design things and where it's kind of at with the specs, so to speak. There haven't been a ton of changes so far. There's been like 2. So we're going to go over those, I guess. Before we begin though, I do want to shout out Topple, Mayra, and a bunch of other people from the Vengeance Demon Hunter portion of the Demon Hunter Discord. Not a huge Vengeance person right now, been a little out of the loop, so shout out to them for helping me get back into it a bit, so to speak, for this video. And yeah, also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, let's take a look at Vengeance in the War Within beta. All right, everybody, so here we are on the beta. And again, I do want to shout out the people who helped with this video, all the people from the Vengeance Demon Hunter Discord, shout out to them. Another thing, my things are not set up at all for Vengeance, so we're not going to do a lot of rotation today. We're just talking about builds, where everything's at, problems, and everything like that. So if you've been following all the Havoc stuff, a lot of the issues are going to be similar, so to speak, for Vengeance. The biggest issue is just how prevalent Aldrachi is. We'll get to that. I do want to start off with just kind of what's changed. The only real noticeable thing that's changed is that Sigils of Misery has 5-second less duration. I'm joking. They've nerfed Illiminated Sigils. So this beforehand gave you 2 charges of every single sigil. What they've done now is that it only works on Sigil Flame, but also gives it a 5-second reduced cooldown. So this is basically dead. There's no, I don't think you ever take this anymore. I think you definitely take Down in Flames now, as the Discord calls it, DILF builds, Down in Flames. Sigils is just not anywhere near as good without also even like giving you 2 charges of Sigil of Spite, but it does have some synergy with Fel-Scarred, which we'll touch on, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of a little dead now, which does suck. But for the most part, you're going to be playing very similar builds. Nothing's really changed for the tree for Vengeance at all. There haven't really been changes at all besides those 2 nerfs. This is baseline, so it's not even like that's a change. Only real change is that Down in Flames is just much more common, and you'll probably switch out Cycle of Binding onto Burning Alive more often. That's kind of it, really. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, same old. You can drop out Soul Carver for Stoke the Flames for more passive damage, and this does have some synergy with the tier set, so I actually imagine you might be doing this more often than not. But yeah, this is kind of your raid build, and then your Mythic Plus build, which I don't have here, is pretty much the same thing. You grab your Burning Alive, you kind of drop Meteoric Strikes, pick up Sigil of Silence, and you come down and grab Extended Spikes as well by dropping out something. I don't remember what. You can just drop out kind of like whatever, and it'll work out, I guess. Guess you could do this theoretically if you wanted to, but you know, there's not really a ton of change between the 2 builds. Not really a need for it to do that, not really much of a point. Realistically, it's just the Sigil of Silence stuff, and you can take this as well if you want for a little more defensiveness. So yeah, I mean, there's not really a ton for me to talk about here. In terms of your class tree, you're basically always going to take the Hunt because of Aldrachi Reaver, and basically always going to take Sigil of Spite because of Aldrachi Reaver. There's some slight benefit with Collective Anguish and with the Fel-Scarred tree, but again, not really a ton. You probably would take Fel-Scarred instead, like this or something, or for Mythic Plus, or like this for raid. But the kicker here is that you're basically never going to take Fel-Scarred. Woo! So let's talk about hero trees, which is kind of like the big whole reason all the new stuff that's coming in. So Aldrachi is just incredibly powerful right now. The whole thing revolves around building up souls, which then empowers your Throw Glaive, which obviously sucks for Vengeance. Vengeance is not fun to use Throw Glaive. You have this perfectly balanced glaive ability, and that's basically it, unless you're trying to like pull stuff. So it adds an extra button in rotation. Now this button is able to not trigger a GCD. So we take the Hunt here. I will show you. We'll just throw in all these talents here real quick. We'll Hunt in, and it's just going to empower my glaive. So you can see down here in the bottom of the screen, I don't have a weak aura, but see my glaive ability. We will Hunt into this target here, and then I can now Reaver's Glaive. And it doesn't trigger a GCD, so if I use it, I can then push something else immediately, as you can kind of see there. And all it really is a little empowered glaive. It doesn't actually change anything in terms of visuals. It just makes it like it just kind of throws a purpley glaive, which is very hard to notice, which kind of sucks. The whole idea here is you get 30 souls, you throw out the glaive, and then you end up getting benefits. And the main benefits are it empowers your next 2 abilities, but also empowers Soul Cleave and Fracture, or Shear if you take Sheer Fury. Although I don't know why you would, but you can. So what it does there is that whenever you use the ability, it does a special thing. So Fracture does a 15% damage taken. Soul Cleave does AoE damage basically. And whenever you use those, it depends on how much damage it does. So if you use Fracture first and then Soul Cleave, you'll do more AoE damage, like twice as much. If you do Soul Cleave first and then Fracture, you'll do a 30% damage amp, which is incredibly powerful. The rest of the tree is just like, you get more souls, you get more souls, you get more damage from the souls. Soul Cleave just does 30% more damage, which is crazy. And then you just get this, which whenever you consume both enhancements, so whenever you glaive Soul Cleave Fracture, you gain 30% damage for 10 seconds and a 15% attack speed buff for 20 seconds. So that's kind of the whole tree. So the whole gameplay here just revolves around building up to 5 souls, spirit bombing, soul cleaving until you can do it again. And that's kind of the whole rotational stuff here. The crazy thing about this one is just how much damage it does. You'd think that even like this doing uncapped AoE damage means it'd be pretty strong. It's not. Basically, the damage from Reaver's Mark is just so great that at every single target count, you want to be throwing Reaver's Mark on your target. So single target, you're playing Aldrachi Reaver. Plus, you probably should be playing Aldrachi Reaver. There's also a really powerful defensive node here with the Spirit thing, which does not work how it says. It says consuming a fragment heals you. This is not true. What it actually does is if we go up here and we just like generate some soul fragments through sigil of whatever, put it in here, we actually have an absorb shield for all of our soul fragments, and this has a cap on it now. For a while there was no cap, which was kind of crazy, but yeah, it's just free passive absorb shield. It's not a large absorb shield. I think it can actually go pretty high. I mean, but it doesn't stack up for a massive amount. I think it's basically 15% of your souls, of the soul healing that you'll do. But it's pretty strong. The other one turns Fellblade into a 10% damage reduction, so like really powerful defensive node there. But it's just so powerful, there's like no reason to ever really use Fel-Scarred, which is a problem. In terms of Fel-Scarred stuff, if we just activate it, swap over here, we'll just click through some trees here real quick. So the whole thing with Fel-Scarred is that meta, as the cooldown, whenever you actually push it, empowers Soul Cleave and Spirit Bomb like how it does for Havoc with Chaos Strike and Blade Dance. Whenever you're active, whenever you empower something, you also explode with like damage, and then everything else just kind of like amps up with that. So we'll just click through the tree here and grab all the nodes that I think are probably good. No idea which one here is better. I'll just take probably Student of Suffering for now, I guess, for Mastery, which is attack power. And we'll apply our changes here. So the whole idea here of this tree is just empowering your demon form. I don't know if it really does that too well. It does make your meta better because Capstone here, Feldev, Immo, and Sigil Flame are also greatly empowered. And then you also just deal 10% more damage for each Demon Surge. So you can stack up to 50% of the buff because it resets. And there's stuff here where when you activate meta, the cooldowns of your Sigil Flame and Feldev are reset immediately. So this actually does have a lot of opportunities for large uncapped AoE damage. Stuff like Dark Lair Boon's really good for it. Stuff like Stoke the Flames is really good for it. Fiery Demise, all those things do empower Demon Surge. So it's fire damage, which is really strong. Stuff like Burning Blood. And then you want Spirit Bomb because you're now empowering Spirit Bomb. The other build wants Spirit Bomb to just gather souls. So you hate Spirit Bomb, that kind of sucks. But the whole idea here, again, is you have this really specific meta combo that deals a ton of damage that I'm not going to do right now, but it's basically like you Fel Devastation, Spirit Bomb, Soul Cleave, meta, Fel Devastation, Spirit Bomb, Soul Cleave, Sigil Flame, like, you know what I mean? Like you use all your buffs, you reset the stuff, and you get large damage amps off of it. The one problem here with this build is, again, it just doesn't have a lot of visuals. You have other stuff as well. Enduring Torment means that when you're out of meta, you have 5% extra health and 20% extra armor, which is basically part of the benefit you get in meta. You also get 5% agility. So it's really weird because this stuff kind of devalues meta, but then the rest of the tree empowers meta and makes it better. So there's a bit of a weird play there. You get basically what is a stagger for 5% of all non-fire damage, which is really cool. You get more leech, which is fine, whatever. You get just like passive stuff that doesn't matter. More fury for just spamming Soul Cleave, and then just like little extra reset stuff here and there. But realistically, I don't know, it's like fine, I guess. So if we just build up to our Fel Devastation here, I'll show you guys what I've been talking about. So we'll drop our Sigil Flame, we'll use Immolation Aura, we will Fel Devastation, then we'll use our Empowered Spirit Burst, which is Soul Bomb, boom. Our Empower Soul Sunder, which is Soul Cleave, boom. We'll meta, it'll reset everything. We have Sigil of Doom, we have Fel Desolation, the empowered thing, we have Spirit Burst, we have Consuming Fire, and we have Soul Thunder. So a bunch of just little extra little icons there. So you see all the icons have changed now as well. So they have little cool things, cool little ability icons, look cool and sick. And you stack up Demon Surge buffs, which you can't see there because I did it so quick. But if we go into our Fel-Dev again, it will reset the ability to do it. So we'll Spirit Burst, boom, and now we have a stack of Demon Surge. We use the next one, boom, Demon Surge again. Again, you can do a ton of AoE damage with this, but on a single target, the damage is just like non-existent. It's playable Mythic Plus, but it doesn't give you a ton of defensiveness either, outside of this being existing outside of meta, or getting like more meta, I guess, because you can stack up Demonic Duration from Fel-Dev. But like, it's fine. This tree does have a bit of synergy with the tier set, which is Soul Cleave dealing more damage and giving you more souls, which also is really good with Aldrachi. So it's kind of, you know, middle ground there. And whenever you consume a soul, you get more damage for Fel-Dev. So the idea here is that the souls work with Aldrachi, which is true. Vengeance has a lot of soul generation because of this stuff. And then the soul fragment increasing Fel-Dev would work with both of them, because in this build you have more Fel-Dev damage because it's empowered by demonic intensity, and in the other one you have more because you just get more souls. It's fine, yeah, it's whatever. So realistically for Vengeance, you know, not a ton is changing. You have one hero talent tree that just kind of doesn't do a ton. It just plays basically the exact same as Vengeance already does. The other hero talent tree, which is just so oppressively strong, that also kind of plays similar to how Vengeance does, but a little bit different, where you are building up your spirit bombs and then just soul cleaving a ton because of your tier set, giving you more souls, which gives you more Reaver's Glaive, which gives you more of this. It's a bit of a thing. It's very, very similar to Sinful Brand, which is obviously really similar to how Havoc is. So, you know, not the best spot. Obviously, there's still a ton of issues with the tree. For the Clash tree, Havoc has the same. And there's just a lot of dead talents on the spec tree as well, like who's taking Bulwark, who's taking these talents here, who's really taking Soulmonger, who's really taking Feast of Souls, right? There's like dead talents here. It's hard to get down as Last Resort. Why is Meteoric Strikes really a thing? Why is Perfectly Balanced Glaive really a thing? So there's a lot of issues here that aren't too like major, but they do exist. And then the hero trees are just kind of subpar, kind of the same as Havoc. So, you know, not a great update, but hey, that's an update. So there you go. That's my quick little Vengeance update for you all. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please, you know, ask them away. I'll do my best to answer them, but you can also go check out the Vengeance Demon Hunter Discord. Great source of information. Itame, Meira, Topple, all those people there are very knowledgeable, very friendly, and will help you out. There should be a link in the description for that as well. So there you go. Let me know if you're excited. Vengeance is nowhere near as strong as it once was. It feels a lot squishier. It feels a lot less powerful because you've lost basically half of your stops, and it kind of broke a lot of the stuff there. And the hero trees are kind of mid. So there you go. Fun stuff. Woo, good stuff ahead. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with hopefully a video tomorrow about class changes, please. So yeah, peace.